Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you my updated Retribution Paladin guide for the upcoming Phase 5 of World of Warcraft Season of Discovery. I will show you the best builds with talents and runes, the Abyss equipment list, rotations for Twistadin and Exodin, world buffs, consumables and some neat tricks like Mouseover Macros. As a Retribution Paladin you can choose to either go Twistadin playstyle with a slow two-hand weapon and a focus on seal twisting and auto attacks, or you can go a fast two-hand weapon and play as an Exodin with your focus on casting Exorcism as often as possible. Going into Phase 5 from Phase 4 now, you want to have the 6 set bonus of Tier 1 from the Lawbringer set, together with Askanda's Collar, together with Majordomus Drape, together with Sulphurous, Hand of Ragnaros, together with the Flame Guard Gauntlets, the Onslaught Girdle, the Quick Strike Ring, the Resin Loop, the Across Chalice and the Hand of Justice. For Twistadin, this is your Abyss list to go into Phase 5. As an Exodin to go into Phase 5, your Abyss list for Phase 4 is the 6 set of Lawbringer Tier 1 set, together with the Blaze Fury Medallion, Majordomus Drape, Typhoon from Azurigos, Libram of the Consecrated, Hand of Justice, Across Chalice, Resin Loop, Quick Strike Ring, and for offset pieces you want the Onslaught Girdle and the Flame Guard Gauntlets. So what will be our best in slot list for Phase 5 of Season of Discovery? For now we can only use simulations to see what will be good and what will be not good. We will start with the Twistadin. So for Twistadin, the best simulation right now we can get is to use the Tier 2 Draconic Judgement set. If you don't know the set bonuses yet, you can see them in this video here. It feels a bit odd for me to use for Twistadin playstyle the Draconic Tier 2 set bonus, because in my opinion this is not the best way to go. But we will start with this and I will tell you what this means for our playstyle. So with the simulation of the 6 set bonus of Draconic Tier 2 Judgement, together with 2 offset pieces, the Sacrificial Gauntlets and the Chromatic Boots, together with the Untamed Blade, we get the highest simulations possible right now, which is about 4k DPS, as you can see on the left side here. The Untamed Blade is the best weapon for this. If you use Askanti, for example here, we will get about the same results. It's a bit higher in this iteration now. And Sulphurous is also about the same. It's a bit lower, but normally it's also around 4k DPS here. What this means here with this Tier 2 Draconic set bonus is that we have to go back to the old seal twisting playstyle, which means you have to snapshot your second seal at the last 2.4 seconds of your attack. This also changes your rotation a bit up, of course, but compared to the version of seal twisting we had in Tier 1, I can't believe that this is the stronger option. So I also did another set here, which is the 6 set of Core Forged bonus of Tier 2 Judgement, which is basically the Tier 1 set bonus together with the Tier 2 Draconic set bonus. This means we can now use 2 seals and 2 judgments of both seals at the same time, and we won't lose our seals anymore. We get more global cooldowns to press while we play the double seal Twistadin playstyle. If I sim this through now, I only get about 3.4k DPS out of it. So it's obviously lower, but we have to keep in mind this simulation here is in an alpha phase and we don't know for sure which data it is using for the sims. So I'm pretty sure this will be the better option, but I might be wrong. We will see in the future. But that's the way I will go into my Phase 5 gearing for Twistadin playstyle. Let me know in the comments what you think will be better. So for Exodin, we want to go with the 6 set bonus of Draconic for sure. And we want to use it together with the Truthbearer. This is the new 2-hand weapon, which is insanely good for this playstyle basically. So if we sim this through, we get about 3k DPS right now. We will see if this will be true at the end for both playstyles, but that's what data is showing us right now, and that's what you can go for your Abyss list to gear yourself up in the upcoming Phase 5. So for talents, For Twistadin and Exodin, you can use the same talent trees. We want to go 5 points into Benediction, 2 points into Improved Judgement, 3 points into Improved Seal of the Crusader, 5 points into Conviction, 3 points into Vindication, 2 points into Pursuit of Justice, 3 points into Two-Hand Weapon Specialization and 1 point into Sanctity Aura, as well as Seal of Command, 5 points into Vengeance, then we go into the Holy Tree, 5 points into Divine Strength, 5 points into Improved Seal of Righteousness, this also boosts our Seal of Martyrdom damage, 1 point into Consecration, then we go into the Protection Tree, 5 points into Redoubt, this allows us to off-tank maybe if we have to use a shield, 3 points into Precision to improve our hit rating, and now we got 2 points left. You can put those points wherever you want. Basically you could go Repentance, you could go Unyielding Faith, or you could put them in Guardian's Favor. Choose what is best for your playstyle here. Why don't we go Improved Blessing of Might? The reason for this is Horn of Lordaron returns on phase 5 as a 2-minute cooldown, which increases our strength and agility by a high amount. This does not stack with Improved Blessing of Might or Blessing of Might at all, so we won't use Blessing of Might anymore because of Horn of Lordaron, so those talent points can go into Benediction now to reduce our mana costs. For runes, we start as a Twistadin. On the head rune we want to go Wrath. On back we want to go Righteous Vengeance to increase our critical strike damage. On chest we want to go Divine Storm for sure, this is another button to press, and as a Twistadin a really hard hitting ability. On wrist, as a Twistadin, we want to go Improved Hammer of Wrath, because this allows our Hammer of Wrath to be spammable if the target is below 10% health, and also Hammer of Wrath is now an instant cast. So as a Twistadin, you want to go Improved Hammer of Wrath on wrist. As a Exodin on the other side, we want to go Purifying Power. The reason for this is this reduces the cooldown on Exorcism and Holy Wrath by 50%, and Holy Wrath can be cast on any target. So this gives you another AoE for big pulls as a Exodin, and also of course it's mandatory for the Exodin playstyle. On hands, for both specializations you go Crusader Strike, just a good hitting ability. On waist you want to go Chef of Light for both specs, because this increases our spell damage by 30% of our attack power, just a really great buff. On legs, you want to go Aura Mastery as a default for both specs, because this will increase the damage of your Sanctity Aura by 100% for 6 seconds, so you want to combine this together with your Wings ability Avenging Wrath. On PvP, you want to use Avenger's Shield instead, because this gives you a slow and a button to press for range. If you have a fight where the raid boss fears, you have to go Inspiration Exemplar. This is just a great utility tool to remove fear from yourself and your teammates. And if you have to kick something, you go Rebuke instead, to have a kick to interrupt casting. So this is our flex spot on legs here, but for default we go Aura Mastery for both specs. On feet, we go the Art of War for both specs, also because this reduces the cooldown on Exorcism by 2 seconds and it reduces the mana cost of Exorcism. It's mandatory for the Exodin playstyle, and for Twistadin it's also a good button to press if you have to go in range, for example. On ring, we go Holy Specialization, because we increase the chance to hit with our holy spells by 6%, of course. On your second ring rune, this depends on the weapon you swing. If you go with a sword, you use Sword Specialization. For mace, Mace Specialization, and so on. So those are our talents to go. Now for the rotation. For the rotation as a Twistadin, going into phase 5 with phase 4 equipment, 1 forward. The basic style of this playstyle is to set your highest prio on optimizing weapon swings with both seals up, and to judge and reapply them at the same time. Your next highest priority in the list is to use your hitting abilities in a prio order without interfering with your auto attack swings, and manage your seals at the right time. We have to use a priority list for our spells now, instead of going for the same rotation every fight, because your weapon swing timer dedicates in which order we can use our abilities. This can look like this. We start a fight with Seed of the Crusader or Seed of Light or Wisdom if you got a tier 1 2-set bonus to Judge Crusader at the same time. Then you judge this, then you apply Seed of Martyrdom, next Seed of Command, Avenging Wrath and Aura Mastery, Divine Storm, Judgement, reapply both seals, Crusader Strike, Exorcism, Consecration, and at 20% you start using Hammer of Wrath in between, and at 10% you spam Hammer of Wrath in between. If we have to use the old school Twistadin game style, you can see in this video here how it works. For the rotation as the Exodin, your main priority is to use Exorcism on cooldown and keep Seal of Martyrdom and Seal of Righteousness up. Use your Judgement and reapply both seals again, but make sure to always hit with both seals. Also use your Exorcism every time you are able to. Your prior order now looks like this. Once again, you start the fight with Seed of the Crusader or Seal of Light or Wisdom if you got a tier 2 set bonus to Judge Crusader at the same time. Judge it, cast Exorcism, apply Seal of Martyrdom, apply Seal of Righteousness if you have the 6 set bonus, Avenging Wrath and Aura Mastery, Crusader Strike, Consecration, Judgement and reapply both seals, Divine Storm, and at 20% start spamming Hammer of Wrath again in between. So use these abilities in this prior order to get the maximum out of your rotation. If you got the 2 set bonus of tier 2 Judgement set in phase 5, you can now bind your Judgement into your seals and or attacks to judge it without pressing a button. So you can do a macro like this. If you combine this with the 6 set bonus of Molten tier 2 Draconic, you need to make sure to always judge with 2 seals up. Now for world buffs and consumables. For world buffs you want the Dark Moon Fairy, world buffs Seiji's Dark Fortune of Damage, the Onyxia buff Relying Cry of the Dragon Slayer, Might of Stormwind from Rend, Songflower Serenade, and the 3 Diamol Tribute buffs Fengus Ferocity, Slipkick Savi, and Moldar's Moxie. For consumables, you want to use the Flask of Supreme Power. This increases your spell power by a lot. For food, you want to go with the Blessed Sunfruit. You can get those from Argent Dawn at Reward. For your strength buff, you want to use the Juju Power or the Elixir of Giants and Roids. Juju of Power is a bit stronger here. For attack power, you want to use Juju of Might or Winterfall Firewater. Same here, Juju of Might is a bit stronger. For agility buff, you want to go with Elixir of the Mongoose, and you can use Elixir of Fortitude, Ramsey Rum Black Label, and the Elixir of Superior Defense. This gives you a bit more survivability overall. For weapon enhancement, of course, you want to go with Wild Strikes from a Feral Druid in your raid. And always helpful are free action potions, restorative potions, and protection potions, especially Fire, Frost, Shadow, and Nature for Chromagos and Blackwing Lair. Next, to Mouseover Macros. You can make your life easier with Mouseover Macros. With this, you cast on the target your mouse is hovering over. If you have no target, you can cast on yourself. Adjust the following macro for your paladin spells: Holy Light, Blessing of Protection, Purify, Flash of Light, Lay on Hand, and Turn Undead. The basic macro looks like this. So for example, in game you just put your spell name here and put it again here, and with this you can hovercast other players or yourself in raid or just by hovering over them. I will post the macros in the description down below so you can copy it. Those macros make a lot of difference in PvE and PvP because it gives you important seconds to react in rough situations. So my final thoughts about Red Paladin in Phase 4 and the upcoming Phase 5. I think Retribution Paladin will be a strong class for any raid, especially for raids with melees, because of the new Horn of Lordaron and our other flexible utility. We won't be the best DPS in this phase, but we bring a lot to the raid, and our damage is still fine for that. We have different playstyles to choose from, which brings a lot of fun to play this class. Thanks for watching, and if you found this useful, consider to like and subscribe for more World of Warcraft Season of Discovery content.